Welcome all and a very good morning. And this is your Girish, VP Volunteer Development. Due to some technical issues in WebEx, we could not start the session on time. Apologies for the inconvenience caused. We will start the session now. We have with us Mr. Jatin Kaji, AVP Professional Development, and Ms. Sonali Kedkar, AVP Volunteer Development. We will start today's session in 5 minutes. Before that, let me take you through our agenda. PM forum will start in some time and will continue for an hour. Then we will take a break for 15 minutes. We will be running our PMA presentation during the break time. At the end of the session, we have question answers followed by vote of thanks and certificate giving. If anybody wants to ask any questions, they can type in chat box. Your questions will be answered by our speaker. We have two important announcements. At the end of the session, we request all participants to provide your feedback, which help us to improve in our upcoming sessions. PDU details along with step-by-step instructions to claim PDUs will be provided to all our participants through mail IDs as per attendance. Let me introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Abhay Juvekar. Dr. Abhay Juvekar has over 36 years of managerial and technical experience in the field of information technology, established integrated and cost-effective managerial controls in software development, service management, information security, risk management, business excellence, and organizational processes. Corporate trainer for quality, process, practice, tools, and methods. 16 years of experience in quality management, 2 years in project management, and 18 years in delivery management in large global MNCs. Doctorate degree in IT, quality management, received various professional certificates and performance excellence awards. He is Doctor of Science, degree aspirant, published research papers in international corpus journals. He has worked in various roles like programmer, analyst programmer, corporate trainer, senior manager, consultant, program manager, quality manager. He has expertise in following domains: insurance, airline, banking and finance, income tax, utilities, manufacturing and details. Dr. Abhay has been awarded an Excellent Performance Award, Star Performance Awards, and Spot Recognition Awards. Today, Dr. Abhay will talk on the topic Vendor Selection Algorithm in Supply Chain Management. Over to Dr. Abhay.
Thanks, Girish. I will start sharing my screen.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I will make the session as lucid as possible. Basically, what I'm expecting is...
Dr. Abhay, can I interrupt you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Almost there have been one or two chat pings that people are unable to see the video or hear anything.
You can't see now share screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, but I am one of the...
No, they should be able to see.
So can some of the participants reconfirm that they are able to see and hear? Please unmute yourself and tell us. Can someone confirm?
Hello. There is silence. That means I'm assuming that all are able to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you
Now,
and sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Apologize for the delay. Actually, basically, I will be taking vendor selection algorithm in supply chain management. I will give you day-to-day examples, and I want to make sure that there is a takeaway of my training in your practical life and in the professional life. Okay, vendor selection algorithm. Now here, this is the agenda, how the presentation will go through. Okay, this is my curriculum vitae, which already Girish has told you. I have done my doctorate in quality management. After that, I have got the credentials of my postdoctoral research and then on the basis of doctorate and postdoctoral research credentials, I have taken admission for Doctor of Science. That is a degree which is ahead further to PhD. Means PhD, if you take like BE, DSC is like ME. It is a master degree. Okay. So basically, first of all, hunch for the research. Why there was a hunch for me for do the research? Basically, in the Indian IT industry or any Indian global business, the entire business is of lower value at times. It is staff augmentation type of business in IT. Then in that there is a very less usage of domain technology in the managerial skills. So as and when you grow up, there is no ladder for domain and technology in Indian business unless and until you make special efforts to get the managerial ladder also for an increase in career, payment and designation. However, for that you need to have full foundation of domain and technology. Now, like a learning curve or learning fast, switching, learning new things, jumping on technologies. This is also essential in the career to keep pace with the current global market scenarios. I am using the word global. Now, if you don't do that, the market values of the person goes down and takeaway of the career is very less. Okay, so to curtail this, I have done the research so that I do forcefully some studies and I publish lot of papers. Then after that I have taken admission for DSC and then I want to complete this within this year. The basic objective is in IT or any industry, global market or global business, there is lot of competition because not only Indians are competing, whereas the entire all the developing and underdeveloped countries are competing in the business. So we have to withstand our performance. Apart from performance, over and above that, there are a number of factors, but at least those are not under our control. What we can do is buck up our career and keep our market value intact. That is in the domain, technology, processes, tools and techniques, practices, finance background. We should know the details of the field which you are in. That is the extended core competency. So to keep that, it was a hunch for my research. Now, if there is no keeping cope up with the technology or domain or what the market demands or whatever your job demands, people have stressful life, layoffs, then there is a financial crunch, social status and family status goes down, there is a confidence and self-respect loss. So that situation one doesn't want to get into it. So that was hunch for the research. Now we will see what are the organization challenges which are faced in the global business. In the organization, the managers basically have the problem of attrition. That is, people are from company A go to B, B to C, C to D for no reason or for increasing salary. So in that, the knowledge is lost. It goes with the ingenuity of the person and it is not recorded. That is, the tacit knowledge is lost. It is not converted into operational knowledge and project again starts bleeding. So this is a one phenomena for company or managers to control attrition, or at least they cannot control attrition, but to control the business loss or the project loss because of attrition. Cost overrun, effort and schedule overrun. Because of requirement, instability, volatility and ambiguity, there is a lack of motivation and there are no technical domain managers who understand the business. So this leads to cost overrun, and which in turn leads to loss. Overcommitment and underperformance. Here, all the IT sectors, all the global business, overcommitments are given and actually people underperform. So that is a big challenge, that at the time of proposal, pre-sales companies selling the proposals at any cost and projecting company and showpieces. However, in reality, it doesn't is like that. Inaccurate estimates. There is basically gap between delivery, pre-sale, sales, and marketing. There are lack of certified estimation professionals, and every time there is a cooking from the vacant world. So nothing is there every time we are on square one. Merger and acquisitions. So in merger and acquisition, there is a lot of cheating, data integrity loss. Then merging of governance model and data is always a problem. Fitment of people. These are issues. So what it does, so that offshoots various layoffs, unexpected and hidden things in the deal are there, and that gives to, because of that hidden things or unread things, there are layoffs and then companies are in danger. Global delivery pressure versus substandard infrastructure. That is basically resources are pulled to next level because of undeserving resources in the market. That's why these pressures are coming. So it is better to overperform, not to be at good position and underperform. Then layoffs in top and middle management. That is a whole company shaked. Grade versus output versus salary. This is a non-matching equation for all. Then lack of capability training. Lack of training which will directly put you on the job. Abstract training is given which is 10 or 20% useful for the job. It should be 180 to 90% palatable, and then people should be at work with that framework. Margin pressures. Margin pressures is customer reduces rate by $2 per hour, and new countries, fresh graduates, all are coming into marketplace. So in a company there is no automation, no productivity improvement, no knowledge management, which is directly linked to the profitability of the organization. Lack of tool, techniques, methods and training. That is lack of, there is no investment in tool, techniques and people training, and whatever are there, people are not aware how to use that. So lack of self-motivated people. Now domain knowledge experts are not the developers, so there is a disconnect. Those who know domain does not know the business. Those who know the business does not know the technology. So because of that, business suffers. See, the people who are at top, they should know everything ideally. No technical and domain knowledge ladder. This we already discussed. Here you have to be man manager. One cannot afford to stay technical or a domain leader. Setting up matrix office, productivity council, knowledge management cell. So this is a data which is available. Whatever is measurable can only be improved. Data has to be there, it has to be measurable, and the measurable can only go for improvement. Whatever is not measurable, that is vague, that has no meaning. So with this, we'll see what are the customer and market related challenges. These are the organization faces these challenges. Market, customer are not aware of the requirement. See, basically, we have to guide customer, and that much knowledge vendor should have. So a solution provider has to be the vendor, trainer, implementer, cost effective solutions, everything has to be depending on vendor because customer is paying you. Saturation in market because of these Brexit policies, and then companies are daily coming. Lot of countries want to compete. Requirement, volatility, ambiguity, integrity, and complexity. That is, the requirement stability index is poor. Why? Implicit and explicit requirements are not captured. Lack of competency and in-depth study. That's why when the requirements are not proper, the project is going to be tossed. Even though it is agile, the product owner has to have clarity on the requirement, which requirements he is taking, and what are the requirements implicit and explicit, and the requirement traceability matrix from requirement till test results, from test results till requirement, and then what are the components in that delivery. Fluctuation in exchange rate. So exchange rate, sometimes you win, sometimes you loss, but then that is always there. The demonetization, all these are problems. Now, with incapability of vendors to understand customers. So basically, quality of work which is expected, work culture, etiquettes, and requirements, and what a customer wants. So services, what type of services customer need, what are the SLAs, what is their business, how business is translated into SLAs, how the product whatever you are giving, how that product will conform to the requirement, customer satisfaction, what extra you are giving to customer apart from what you have committed, 1+1 bonus, that is a trend going on. Stock market manipulation, there is local share listing and there is a share listing in the global market. So there is lot of manipulation which affects the company, which affects the performance. Technology instability, like there are a lot of new technologies coming and vanishing. So people make a hype of it that you don't know this technology, that technology, but that also it is better to stick to one technology and keep a know-how of what. TCV falling due to global competition. That is, we have a business called as application maintenance, development and maintenance, then consulting type of business, managed services. These are the different type of business. So whichever business is BAU, for that TCV is always falling because of various reasons. They are getting many vendors, and at the same time the new vendor starts with lot of vigor. You are not taken for granted. That's why they change vendor every 2 years or 3 years. So in that, if there is no proper handover of from vendor to vendor, transition and transformation, then there is again you are in dark. Business split across various geographies, multi-vendor assignment and transition, that is a SIAM model is coming. So distance and physical presence, work culture and cultural issues, lack of commitment, self-motivation, various timings, these are the hurdles in the global business. Still, the business is now global, so we have to cope up with the change in the business model. Okay, so with this, I have entire business depends on supply chain management. So what is supply chain management? Supply chain management is a interruption in the goods or services. Okay, so supply chain management means suppose milk doesn't come in the morning, you have to go and hunt for the milk. A servant doesn't come in house, you yourself have to do the things. These are the great disturbances in your professional life or personal life because that is not accounted for. So basically supply chain strategy includes developing a strategy, sourcing raw material, production, distribution, and returns. So minimal inventory, controlling and reducing the cost, wastages, and inventory. That is, house also we target for 1 month. So that much of inventory we have, so that the house running is seamless, plus there is no wastage also. There is no spoiling of raw materials. So that's how the business is run. No leads and lags in the business. No wastage of resources, money, material, man, machine, and methods. Seamless handover, taken over of operations, raw material and finished goods. So basically, handover and takeover of operations should be very seamless. People shifting in shifts. The goods are going from one place to another. Okay. So basically, penalties, distraction, detractors, everything we have to lose. A competitive advantage in marketplace, that is good brand, good image, good position, and cost effectiveness. The product should be cheap also, with the best quality and lowest price. That's how we look at it. In FD we look highest interest, lowest period, like that. All customers want that. So excess cost and inventory, that is losses, decay, damage, then blocking of money. Like if you have excess inventory at home, it is blocking the money, and then it is taken for granted, and after 2-3 months it will be given to somebody, some servant. So that itself we want to minimize and have best deal. Companies are to out of penalties, brand detractors, then various laws of the land like SOX, Sarbanes Oxide, all those things. So basically, network of individual companies, resources, activities, and technologies used to make or sell product and services. That is a bottom line. Okay. So what is a supply chain management? Disadvantages of poor supply chain management. So what will happen with poor supply chain management? With poor supply chain management, it will be a huge loss for vendor. That is the loss in business, regulations, and CSAT. You will get poor CSAT. There will be loss of reputation. All will be detractors, not promoters. In medicines, hospital, pharmaceuticals, high level of SCM is required. Services are very crucial. People may die or flight may collapse. So poor services will not be tolerated anywhere, but they will be very strict in pharmaceuticals and airlines. That's why they go for 9 sigma. If you don't have proper supply chain management, it is a shutdown in business and companies, and it can lead to loss of human lives. Okay, so inventory loss will lead to employment loss, employee layoffs and terminations. It will lead to inventory loss and employment loss. If there is no production or the sale goes down because of poor supply chain, then people are not required. Then turnaround time to market, that is timely delivery, demand and supply. So turnaround time to market has to be very low, and that has to be ethically low. Not like mango people, they put in chemical, and whatever 10 days are required for natural process, within 2 days the entire mango is typed and they can sell. So that is unethical way. The professional business is done in professional ways. Dissatisfied employees, they lead to CM, senior management and customers. So dissatisfied employees with that or senior management, the supplier partners, shareholders, all will be unhappy. Lower margin on profitability. When you have the lower revenue, you have you may lead to low profitability. Low profitability is low increment, no increment, cutting down on variable pay, cutting down on cost in the company. So basically, one can conclude that vendor selection is the backbone, because appraisal costs, prevention costs, damage control, if they are high, no company can afford. Okay. Vis-a-vis, if you have good supply chain management, what are the benefits? Highest productivity, reduce supply chain cost. Supply chain also has a cost, so that cost also you have to minimize. The cost is for pieces of services plus integration. Agility and resiliency. Product quality, good product quality, better customer service, greater transparency and sustainability, better collaboration with suppliers, better cost control. So opposite of that, reduce inventory and overhead of costs. Risk management is very low. Your agile business turnaround time to market is also reduced, and you have better visibility and data analytics in the marketplace. So basically with this, with good supply chain management, you have the benefits. With poor supply chain management, there are very less benefits. Now, what are the vendor? To select a good vendor, what are the criteria? So we have seen industry challenges, organization-wide challenges, challenges in global business, challenges at the employee level, challenges of senior management. Then we have seen what is supply chain management, what are the challenges in supply chain management. From all that, you can call out that supply chain is very important. Everywhere. See, supply chain is very important. If your car is in garage and there is very poor supply chain in garage, then you can't concentrate on your work. That will affect your work. So everywhere supply chain is important, and in supply chain management, vendor selection is important. Project goes to wrong vendor. See, everywhere we cannot have very costly vendor. If lower level of business is to be outsourced, then we require a cheap, cost effective vendor with that expertise. We cannot use a machine gun to kill a rat or cockroach. So whatever type of business we have, as per that we need to have vendor. So it can be of lower quality, or it's suitable for the right sizing of the vendor, suitable for that business. So it is right type of vendor with right qualities, not overperformed or not underperformed. Very cost effective with excellent services and products with low defects and no failure SL. So basically, these are the parameters: financial strength of the vendor, that is revenue, share price, earning per share, dividend per share, profit and loss, profit margin, and 10 years report, annual report. Now, if you take a big customer, take Bayer, take Siemens, take Schlumberger, these are global business, Hitachi, all these are global customers. Now, if they want to outsource a business, whom they will try. They will try for TCS, they will try for Capgemini, they will try for n number of companies from India plus across the globe. Now what parameters they will look? See, basically they have a preferred vendor list so that every time they don't have to start from scratch. So in that preferred vendor list, these are the parameters which determines whether you are qualified for that. Your financial traits, market reputation, promoter, detractor, legal suits and litigations. How many suits are against you? How many customer complaints are against you? How many rules of the land you have violated? How many international rules and laws you have violated? How fast you can learn? How fast you can build up your capabilities? What is your infrastructure and investment? Now they expect your DRBCP sites to be abroad, not in same country also. So that is infrastructure setup and investment. Employee satisfaction survey, attrition rate versus industry rate. So what is a industry rate and what is the attrition rate in your company or in your country? Quality of supplier, partner and subcontractor. Who are your supplier, partner, subcontractors? All those things, their quality also is responsible for your quality. Also, all prefer multi-city vendors. That big companies have got offices in all. Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Calcutta. Why? Because it is automatic business continuity centers and disaster recovery plans can be executed. So best of all the culture you get. Now, another parameter is customer. That is, which are the customers of the vendor? What is customer loyalty? What are complaints and escalations? Penalty, promoter and distractors, customer expectation survey, and customer satisfaction survey. So who are the vendors of say company XYZ? So their data is also important because that only will give truthful picture. Company will boost anything, but then you need to get accurate information, accurate controls from accurate people, accurate entities, supply and partners. Who are your supply and partners? What are OLAs and SLAs we defined for them? Then HR. What is your strength for ramping up of the capabilities? Employee, to what extent employees are satisfied? What is attrition rate? Then what is employee satisfaction ratio? Index. Skill set of people, expected skill set versus actual skill set. All are important. Legal and compliance, suits, penalties, your legal department, failed certifications and assessments. If you have failed any certifications and assessments. Delivery and technology is a strength of or backbone of the company, any company. Manufacturing, see product like L&T, their technical strengths, successful deliveries, skill set available and quality of resources that will trigger the quality of the machines, customer escalations, government escalations, failure rate, failure stories published by self and other people. Okay, so these are the parameters. It is a very big topic. Depending on what type of business you want to outsource, you will select your vendor. Now the vendor which you are selecting, we need to know the entire horoscope of that vendor, entire picture of that vendor, entire SWOT, okay, for that vendor, so that the project is not on become red and we don't repent in life, the vendor becomes part of the customer and they work seamlessly. Projects are in red, projects are bleeding, services are failed. Why? All these failures are there. That is lack of competent people, lack of understanding requirement, not stable attrition. All those things are very important. Now, what are benefits of pragmatic vendor selection? These are the,
Dr. Abhay,
yeah.
are we good to take some questions? We have a few of them, or we want to take it later?
Can we take after 10 minutes? Then we
Sure.
can break for.
Sure. Okay.
So this is the business benefits of the pragmatic vendor. Say buyer, if they want to choose a vendor, what are the benefits they will get? If there is one business with one vendor, they prefer to give another projects also to same vendor because of there is a comfort level. You know the culture, you know the business ethics, you know what type of professional attitude is over there. So with this, these are the business benefits and the business works out to be economical. It becomes autopilot. Okay, so you do for one, 100 becomes one after another, mechanical. Sort of. The requirements and the failures and the gaps and then reworking, all will be there obviously. When it is a project, there will be failure rates, there will be defects, but the competency level, commitment level of the organization and the people, culture of the company. Okay, so for this research, what I have done, I have studied this literature. And I have studied the CIAM model. I have studied GEM portal of the government and various. I will in the further slides you will get what are the methods currently used and how they are defective. That I have elaborated. That you will go to next level. But the GEM portal is government portal and that is lack of lacuna in the requirements gathering only and results. Plus being government portal, the servers and the responses, it is better not to speak about that. People don't understand that they have to invest wherever there is a customer involvement. Internally it is okay. But when you want to attract customer, retain the customer, proper investment is required in the artificial intelligence or this global business where business is on web. So there is no vendor selection methodology in any of the business. I have taken the case study of IT because I belong to IT. But this is applicable for all the businesses. Like PMI standards are valid for all. It doesn't talk about technology, domain, processes, practices, methods, anything. So you have abstract standards which will standardize your business if you follow that properly. That will tell you what part, what to do. How to do will depend on your ingenuity, your proficiency and your nature of business and what your company demands. But if you follow PMI standards, you'll definitely going to benefit because huge experience of several generations have gone into it. It is not one time or one person job. So this is exercise is basically case study made for information technology which can be extended towards other domains also that I have written in my further scope of research. Okay, then we go to objectives of vendor selection model tool. So basically these are the clean objectives. Qualitative method means interview based and questionnaire Likert scale. That is qualitative research method. Quantitative means you have the bulk data with you and then you do research on that. Now the bulk data means it will depend on the quality of the data. Like neural network, your weights are adjusted on the quality of the data. So everything depends on the quality of the data. So basically I have used the quantitative data, and when you get a quantitative data, it has to be authentic and from a good source. Then you apply various statistical methods on that, like normalization, data cleansing. All these you apply your statistical test. And for that, there is a paper of research methodology in research work in PhD. Qualitative data means you have to fill data. So filling data, a Likert model you have, and you fill something and you give. But that skews the entire data. It is better not to give any false data. So basically, qualitative data, I have taken interviews of various people and then you make them speak and get truthful information so that your research is authentic. Otherwise, junk checklist and compiling them and doing some research is of no use. Okay. Also, it has been proved that your homegrown tool is the best tool because the source code is in your hand. It is as per your business model. Plus, there are a lot of confidential and hidden things in the organization which you can introduce in the homegrown tool. Okay. If you have the pragmatic vendor, you have very good life. Like a simple example, if you have good servants at home, we don't have to look into it. They will do their job. They're professionals. You can concentrate on your core competency. So gauging vendor before deploying is very difficult, and that judgmental thing, it cannot be good or bad. It has to be quantitative, and that quantification I have introduced. Now a lot of go on the Google Scholar and see horror stories in IT, vendor failures, all those, a lot of stories are there. Failure stories of IT organization. All that will all boil down to wrong vendor selection. So our selection is wrong, or we don't have proper information to select, or whatever it is, that time was bad, but project into wrong vendor, and it is very difficult to change the vendor. And then there are lot of sleepless night. Okay. So project failures due to outsourcing challenges and drop of existing vendor. If you want to go for second vendor, shift the vendor now, it is very difficult. And then second time you should not go into failures. Okay, now we go to existing vendor selection method. So Pug matrix method, pros and cons method, data envelopes analysis, fuzzy data envelope analysis, stochastic data envelope analysis. These are the various models which are used for vendor selection. Now, people don't have anything after 20 years in the business. They are cooking from the vacant world. Okay. So basically all are on square one. So every time new proposal comes, it is a new baby, and then people start from crash. So basically estimation, your choice of proper vendor, Vendor also should select you and then you should select vendor. Both, there is a partnering, there is a marriage, there is a union, so that both do have the common KRAs, joint KRAs, and successfully both of them, they fulfill the KRAs and give good product or good delivery. So both are to be equally good. So this way, with these methods also, if you try to use rather than this is good or that is good. See, suppose you select the best vendor who is in the marketplace and it's 4 times costly. Can we afford? No, we want economical solution, because everywhere business, like you see, US also projects are shutting, plants are shutting because of losses. So saving money and then doing business pragmatically, so that you have base for tomorrow. You don't have to be out of business. So cost effective solution, cost effective vendor with the optimal parameters and best delivery, so that your end customers or your customer, the company also has to be very happy. So this has been all scrapped out. So models are not scalable, standardized and robust. Precision level is low, confidence is low. Then lot of interpretation can be done on that. So they are not at all user friendly, and they are not meant for global business where you cover all the geographies, all the culture, all the daytime, nighttime, all the finance of so many companies. Then all the practices, that is, you have lower level of business, service management, production support, then development projects, then you have consultancy business also. So all you should be, they are not covering all. So a project has got these things. Whereas various project methodologies like agile, waterfall, then all these are also not covered into that, because customer may want to shift on methodologies. If they have big waterfall model, in between they feel like we should go to agile. So they will shift the model if they want. We cannot decide that. So what is the environment? Okay, now we can take the questions. After break, I will go to the actual model. Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Abhay, for taking us, for actually motivating us on this lazy Sunday morning by reminding us of all the risks we can face at workplace. Your examples are also remarkable. For example, we cannot use a machine gun to kill a rat or a cockroach. Also, the vendor selection is very important, as you rightly pointed out, because vendor becomes a partner in the project over a period of time. And win-win strategy needs to be applied for both the parties to have successfully closing projects. So we have a set of good questions, Dr. Abhay, and I will read them out to you. So Saurabh is asking, what is SIAM?
That is SIAM, Service Integrator Model. That means, see, I have given you, I am a slumberger and I have 20 different vendors for various business. Now, the business is all over the globe. Now 20 different vendors are there. How much strength I am wasting for 20 different vendors? It is very difficult for me to do this business. So what I will do, out of 20, I take say TCS, and TCS is best of all, say. So I take TCS as make and them as an integrator. So they will do their job also, plus they will sit in between me and all other vendors and control them, control the output, control the delivery, and they will make it to a standard level, and then they will deliver to me. So I will deal only with TCS. TCS deal with remaining 19 vendors, and they will give the output. So what are the advantages? For Apart from 20 vendors, I have to deal only with one vendor. That is one advantage. Now, since I have chosen the best of 20, they will control all the other vendors. They will liaison with them. They will interface and they will put proper quality controls, proper legal controls, proper delivery controls on them and give me excellent quality. So, apart from communication and interfaces, I expect a standardization in quality so that 20 different type of things I am not getting. So TCS is supposed to give them their templates and those templates they will feel so that my life is simple. Like hospital, if you go to hospital, they have a standard chart. So column number 3rd is blood pressure. Column number 4th is triglyceride. So junior people feel all those things. And then ultimately after 2-3 rounds you go to senior people. So they are well versed with that chart. That column number 3 blood pressure, column number 4 triglycerides, column number 5 cholesterol, column number 6 D vitamins. All those, that is a standardized so that they don't have to search all the reports. So that is a standardization and current business is going towards that. Big companies appoint one service integrator who will be a vendor also and who will be the integrator of all the businesses. So transition, transformations, new business, new deals and the existing deals, all the checks will be kept by him and expected quality will be made by him. He is not a, say TCS is an integrator means he is not a owner. He is responsible for quality. And he understands my business. So 20 people I don't have to tackle, one people and I get the benefits. It is a cakewalk for me. Okay, second question.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Saurabh and Mahesh are asking to explain total contract values are shrinking year after year.
Total contract value means suppose 10 years back it was for say $1,000. Now if I give contract to one company and they are performing, now I come to know that the SLAs are too lenient. People are roaming around. A 4-hour window within 10 minutes people solve. 8 hours window within 20 minutes people are tackling that. So that is not required. So they will crunch down on the time. And then with global competition and exchange rate, companies are benefiting or losing. So will they reduce the value by $1 or $2 because contract is for 3 years? If I reduce, if I am employed and tomorrow company says that 10% reduction in the salary. So will I throw 90% and go out or accept 10%? I will not throw 90% unless I get something better in hand. So I will opt for reduction in 10%. So that way vendors are accepting reduction in the customer rate. Sometimes it is for global rate, sometimes it is for local rate. So that way with huge competition of vendors, huge competition of integrators, huge competition of employees and new people coming into business, the TCVs are reducing for the years together year business. Few customers they give poor rating and get the rate reduced. That is poor rating is to get your business reduced. That way also anything can be done. So if your rates are getting reduced, then you have to increase your profitability and productivity. Increase automation so that your profit margin remains same. Okay, so various testing labs, COEs, and all those are functioning, technology labs. So a good customer will ask for all those things. Where is your testing lab? The quality of the people, quality of the output, what I am getting, what my end customers are benefiting for that. Because all the cost is factored into the deal itself. Next question.
Okay. Sir, the next question is there any tool available to measure employee satisfaction?
Employee satisfaction, basically if you go in canteen or you go in public places, what people speak from that you can see, and that is HR job and it is depending on company to company. See, basically your appraisal system is employer satisfaction. Okay. because there you write what you expect from company, what you expect from bosses, salary hike, promotion hike, keeping market value after 10 years or 20 years. If you are obsolete and thrown away, then it is a pity case that no bosses or that individual did not strive for the market value. So bosses have to give market value to junior people. So if that way people work for good culture, they work for good knowledge, domain, technology, processes, competency, all those things. So that if they are getting, then it is those employees are satisfactory, and then automatically salary and your variable pay will be spin off of the career, and you don't have to run after that will run after you. Okay, next question.
As you
And
rightly
attrition ratio is your employee satisfaction,
right. Okay.
or exit interviews, that is employee satisfaction.
Right. Yes. Okay, there's a question from Anil sir. He's asking, are there any rating agencies for vendors for doing vendor selection?
There are some agencies which are availing, but then see, again, you cannot disclose all your details to them. See, if there is a decision to be taken in my family, the lawyer comes at last, no? Family counselor,
Right.
lawyer comes after it goes after a certain limit. Otherwise, we try to settle problems, we try to convince people, we try to find out pragmatic solutions. So our family solutions, others cannot find out. It has to be homegrown only. And then the other agencies will come if it is going down. You can take inputs, and there are a lot of tools available. I have shown you those tools. So those have a lot of parameters which are available, but then the choice of the vendor is not guaranteed. Okay.
Right.
So you can acquire information and build your database on that, but we cannot build decision on that.
True. So this is like an example of where many corporates employ consultants, like the big five, and they give a recommendation, but there is no commitment to their recommendation. So your example is
See,
very much in line with that.
see, when layoffs are to be done, they will deploy McKinsey. That McKinsey had told down 10% are to be removed because nobody wants to take the blame.
Yes.
So down, so that's why, and those are making profits in crores and crores. So that is okay to some level, it is okay. But then, if I want to become fit, I will go to doctor and he will recommend medicines. But the jogging and then walking and then taking medicines, I have to do though.
That's right, sir.
So we cannot expect others to do so many things for us.
True.
Any question?
Yes, there's a question from Dhaval, sir. So he's saying, like for employees, there is a probation period to know whether the resource is fit for the organization, etc. So is there a gauge for knowing the vendor or measuring the vendor before awarding the deal?
That's I have told everything, no? That you see their confidential reports, you see what is there in Gartner, what is there in all these sites, then what are the litigations pending on them. You do a net, then you talk to their end customers. All those are the methods. Like you have your internal judgment, plus the vendor will give you some data about myself, plus whatever your judgment and vendor data, you have to evaluate each and every parameter by finding out, probing in, or by exploring the information from various sources. Like if they are certified for such and such standards, you have to find out really they are certified. Then again, who are their promoter, who are their detractor, who are for them, who are against them, how much penalties they have paid, everything, all the, it's like marriage. You try to gather information as much as possible at that spot. All information you cannot get, but try to do your job at that moment. And then after you get, you have to put proper controls. How your controls are standardized and they are implemented by you, that is very important. See, the customers, they sleep and the job goes into hand of the vendor. And what happens with vendor? It goes in the hands of the trainee people. And bosses are asking whether done or not, whether done or not. Now what is to be done, how it is to be done, how results are to be collated, that bosses have to guide, no? So if customer give project to vendor and vendor organization gives project in the hands of trainees, what is fate of everyone? So in that process, the employees learn a lot and they quit the organization because they get information power, they get the knowledge power because entire project is shifted to them. Okay, next question.
Right. Okay, so there's a question from Jatin. He is asking, as a project manager, how do we handle quick resource onboarding?
Quick resource onboarding means in an organization there is a database of employees who are available in the marketplace, who have left the organization are available in the marketplace. So those employees, whatever database you have, they have the desired skill set, technology, tools and techniques, you onboard them. Or if that is a too much of gestation period, you deploy contractors in that period. Contractors are available. Or you train your bench, internal employees.
Abhay, can I rephrase Jatin here? Can I rephrase the question? See, typically, this is from our project management perspective. I, as a project manager, assigned a project and I don't have the resources. And I have to start the project, my clock is ticking. So I
No,
have to,
basically, when you take the
how
project,
quickly, see, because I am not trained in the vendor selection, anything on a hunch, कल कौन आदमी दे सकता है उसके ऊपर ही हम काम कर सकते. Is there a better way?
see, basically, when you take a project, organization will take a project provided they have the necessary infrastructure. If they don't have the infrastructure and the project is given to you, then you have to write what is the current state of the project, what is current state in the company, prepare a report first of all, and then produce that to all stakeholders that this is a place where we are. Now from that you try to do best out of what, but it should not be projected as everything it is a Ramraj for you and then you are not performing. So you tell that the expected skill set is this, actual skill set is this, out of 10 only 5 resources are available, domain in knowledge experts are not available. All those things you have to make a report in the beginning whenever you take assignment. And if you find that there is a lot of gap, some gap is there, that's why we are there, but there cannot be lot of gap. Okay, so make a report and give that. If there is a lot of gap, some gap is there, you can jump, but big gap is there, you will fail in that crack. Okay, next question.
So we have answered all the questions at this point
So
of
can
time.
we take a break for 5 minutes?
Sir, what I suggest is means we will take a small break. So as there
If you don't want break, I will continue.
no,
because
means we'll take a short break so that we can show our PMA presentation. Immediately we'll start immediately after the presentation. Will this
but
be
then
okay?
let us speed up because people are have
Correct,
already
correct,
it has
correct.
been delayed.
Yeah, yeah.
So
only
PMI presentation
I
is
need
on
to
what?
show. PMI presentation I would just want to display. That will take only 5 minutes, not more than that.
Can you do at the end?
At the end, actually, normally we do it in the break only. So give me 5 minutes only. Will that be okay?
Do quickly, and I
Okay,
also
sure.
want to finish.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. So we'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah. Abhay sir, we can start. We can start the session. Hello, Abhay sir, you are on mute. Hello. Hello, Abhay sir, you are on mute.
I have
Oh.
unmuted.
Okay.
Can you see screen?
Yes, yes. We can. No,
Can't see?
no means the contents you can see.
Now you can see this presentation.
No, no, sir. You need to share it again.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. Now basically after this what we'll go through is what is a research environment. So since I have told you it is a qualitative research as well quantitative research. So global IT outsourcing business. So in that companies participated are 15. 15 top companies who want to outsource the business have been considered from the population of 50 top global IT enabler companies. It is IT enabler companies, means it can be from any domain and any geography. It should have outsourced the IT enabler business, means the business which demands IT services. So per se IT doesn't exist. It is for some client, it is for some technology, it is for some type of practice, it is for some domain. So we have considered 3 vendors per company. So total vendors considered are 45. So 15 into 3, 45. Now assessment is tool is developed by me. Interview technique is used to fill the questionnaire. The interview technique is used to fill the questionnaire because the questionnaire is not filled by people properly. They fill anything. They say, I have 3 minutes for you. So I will fill whatever is available in 3 minutes. So quality and quantity and what is expected from you, nobody knows. So I have done that way so that it is on how I engage with you, say for half an hour or 45 minutes and get the information. Vendor assessment tool development, that is homegrown tool development. It is very difficult. Collection of data, cleansing of data. Cleansing means applying various statistical tests as normalization, then you have the homogeneity test, and then analysis of post-survey responses. Then see what happens when you select a vendor. Your vendor selection process is done. After 6 months, what you feel, whether your decision is correct, whether your decision is wrong, or whether what is expected and what is actual, gap between actual and expected. So that you have to give post survey response. After post survey response, you have to collate that, work on that statistically. So everywhere statistics is used to prove whether it is failure or success. And then from that results, you can have the interfaces and inferences and conclusions. So this is the method. So this is a ability capability model. Ability capability model. So these are abilities: general, delivery and technology, finance, human resource, customer, legal and compliance, supplier. Irrespective of your vertical, irrespective of your domain, irrespective of technology, irrespective of methods, practices, these are the abilities on which each vendor has to be judged. Now for my business, what are the weightages? So these are the weightages. Now I have explained you from 2 to 7, what are they? Now one is function of all from 2 to 7. Okay. It is kept so that my entire data is not skewed up. I have proper control on my data. And to conclude that I am going in the right direction. So this is how my abilities are there, 1 to 7. This is a weightage against each ability. You see, customer has got the highest weightage, 24. Delivery and technology has more weightage, because customer will be happy if your delivery and technology is good. Delivery means it is delivery of the product, delivery of the services, and happiness. So this is the, then 1, 2, 3 like that, these are the capabilities. Okay. Now each business has to undergo so many turmoils. What are the turmoils? That is globalization. You have n number of competitors, currency fluctuations, rate reduction, then inferior quality of resources. If resource, new generation what is coming, that will have low level of commitment or low level of, may have, I am not concluding, but you have to factor that into your model, that how studious BE lot was there 20 years back and how they are now. So it is a era effect and we cannot blame anyone. So again, general has got 3 parameters, delivery and technology has got 5 capabilities, and customer has got 10 capabilities, and then it is made to 100. So 8% becomes 100% for general, 30% become 100% of 30. So, and whatever is in black square, that is not existing. Okay. With this basic framework, we go to next level. This is how you judge your ability. That is initial, beginner, competent, advanced, expert. So there are 10 abilities required for the business. Now I have in 5 advanced, in 1 expert, 1 initial. So is that combination fit for my business? I cannot be 10 in all. My project management skills are supreme, but my technology level is a initial level. Then is that combination suitable for business? So that way you can't expect all experts and all top scientists, NASA scientists in the project. So whatever is available and whatever is expected. So this way judgmental is done for the proficiency levels at the ability level. Then comes your proficiency level at sub-ability level. That is subgroup. Now, if this is done, now see, now general has got 3 categories I have shown you. This is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Like that, delivery and technology has got 5 categories. Human resources has got 6 subcategories. Okay. So depending on that, it is broken down, because nothing can be controlled at group level. It has to be subgroup level, elementary level, like that. So the judgment comes at 1.1. Now 1.1 judgment, when it is 4.8, 1.6, it comes to 8% in the higher scale. Now here proficiency levels are defined. Next you go, see within that we are going down. We have gone in 1.0 general. Now we are going 1.0 general, 1.1 subcategory. It is not possible to show the entire Excel over here, entire tool. So 1.1 subcategory, it is process maturity for non-agile projects. 4.8. See, it is 4.8. So we are concentrating on first row. Now what are questions into that? What are the ratings? Likert scale, response, credit earns and maximum credits and percentage of credit earns. So this will depend on what you project yourself, what market projects you, and what I see you. Like for interview, how you project yourself. If you project yourself too great, you will be thrown out because you are not truthful, you are not authentic. So basically you have to project as you are. Then I will assess you, and then market, entire world will assess you. All three should coincide, then only you are qualified for that job or for that assessment. How you are perform and how you are going to perform, those are the two questions. So market, entire globe will tell how you have performed. You will tell both how you are going to perform and how you are performing past. In what I will judge is how you will perform based on all these parameters. So this is a scale on which you earn, and then that is the end result. So your qualities are basic. Now if you see here, this is a dashboard. This is a dashboard in which you can have these arrows, you can have drop down as per business. Now for say one company, ability sub ability model is developed, and then these are the results that ABC vendors advance expert advance. So model B is used. So vendor B is a pragmatic vendor because its score is high. So it is not what you feel, what I feel, what market feels. It is the data and it is a scientific tool which will determine. After that, you have always scope to do judgment, because the result of the tool is also to be assessed, verified and certified for further decisions. So basically your is a scientific calculations will tell the result, then that result validation, valuation, assessment and endorsing of that result will be done by so many tier A, tier B, all are there. Top brass, CXO, they will do all this. So this is a tool, and for each customer it will give, at present I have taken 3, provision is made for 5. So from that 3, depending on the calculations, a unique vendor will be flushed out, and there will not be 2 vendors having the same score. Okay, that is for sure in the model. So this is a model. So I have taken care of overcoming all the drawbacks of previous models. What are assumptions in the research? Assumptions in the research are a good training is required for selection of the vendor and for vendors to fill the data. Vendor to give data and the companies to collect data, good amount of training is required. So it is expected that 2 days of training is expected. 16 hours for after they study the tool, they will come up with questions. So all those need to be answered so that your assumptions and your judgment and what business you have, that they are in line with each other. So these are out of scope, so they will be thrown out because it is a scientific tool and it is not for any manipulation. Okay. So these are actually, I have published 6 papers. These are the papers which I have published for my DSC. So if you write paper, lot of clarity comes. Then these are UGC Carely journal papers, and bottom 3 are Scopus index, that is they are at a very high level. That is, it is at a high level. Difficult to write because the readers and users of that will be of high brand and high quality. Hypothesis. This is a hypothesis for my, you know that everywhere there is null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. So alternate hypothesis and null hypothesis are evaluated and chi-square goodness of fit test. So I will explain in detail what is chi-square test. I am going for a training. Now I will give 2 weeks of training. I will check the capabilities of the student prior to training. Then the training will be delivered, assessment will be done, and those who clear the assessment, for those people, I will again take the capability judgment. Statistical, of course, statistical capability judgment or test or whatever it is. And then I will feed that data into chi-square test. So that test has to tell that students are better now and your training is effective. If chi-square test is basically to conclude how were you before training and how you are after training. Okay. P value is less than 0.05, means greater than 95% probability at 1 degree of freedom. And chi-square statistics result is greater than 3.841, which concludes that you reject your null hypothesis and accept your alternate hypothesis. So this is basic statistics, not advanced statistics. So this test is applied to conclude that the vendor selection algorithm is going into right direction or we get the fruits of it. So these are the benefits. After your this, what are the benefits? Benefits have to be qualitative as well as quantitative. And benefits has to go to all the stakeholders, end customers, supplier partner, employees, shareholders, all in value chain need to get the benefits of that. Then this is intellectual property right of my tool. Further scope of research. This can be refined. It can be for other industries like automobile. Then it can be for manufacturing or drug, okay, pharmacy. So where all the parameters and the questions all will undergo little change. Okay, so always there is scope of improvement. This is a snapshot of that point of time. After the research and after submission of the thesis, this is a snapshot. That means I'm not concluding on it. This is a lot of work I have did for last 2-3 years, which I have submitted. So this is bibliography. This is what I have studied on various supply chain management, supplier evaluation criteria, vendor selection criteria, both from customer end and from vendor end. Then their failure stories, what happens if you fail in vendor selection. So this is how okay. So this is how I have done my research. And any questions? I have gone little hurriedly because already we have lost lot of time. So I don't want people to still stretch.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Abhay, so much for enlightening us today on the vendor selection process and also taking us through the algorithm. So just one question, can this algorithm be customized to meet different industry and different requirements, sir?
That I have written a further scope of research. See, if fundamentals are clear and if you apply properly, then it can be done. Fundamentals on how that vendor model is created and what are inputs to it, what are outputs to it, and what are expectation. It can be extrapolated for other industries also. That is in further scope of research.
Okay. There's
This
one
is,
question, sir, from Santosh. Are you planning to market this tool on a commercial platform?
we'll see that later. I'm thinking of that.
Okay, right. Fine. So that's it from our attendees today, sir.
So if your fundamentals are clear and if you apply them properly, you will get answers of all the questions. And then this will give you a lot of market value also.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Abhay.
Any further questions? I have written my mail ID in the beginning of the presentation. You can post over here. I'll get it back to you.
I request all attendees to note the email ID of Dr. Abhay if required.
Thank Dr. Abhayji for this wonderful and knowledgeable session of vendor selection algorithm in supply chain management. On behalf of PMA Mumbai chapter, I would like to present a certificate to you. I'm sharing my screen. Please accept this certificate as a token of appreciation for giving us your time and effort and having this knowledgeable session. You will be receiving this soft copy of certificate in mail.
Okay.
Feedback link is provided for this is for the participants. Feedback link is provided in the chat box. Request all the participants to provide your feedback so that we can incorporate changes in our upcoming sessions. For claiming PDUs, we will be sending mailers, and along with the mailer, we will be sending you the link for providing feedback. So please provide feedback if not provided. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants for joining the session again, though we started our session late by 1 hour. Thanks to Amodji for helping us all today when we had a technical problem in WebEx. Otherwise, today's session would not have been possible. Special thanks to Sonali Madam and Jatin Sir for helping in making this session happen, and also Mr. Tushar and Sunil for their commitments to the session. Thank you all for joining for today's session. Thanks a lot. Signing off.
And I thank everyone. I thank PMI. I thank Girish Yogi and all the participants for giving me opportunity to present, and all have listened properly. So thanks a lot for providing me also a platform.
Good. Thank you, sir. So thank you all the participants for joining the session. So I'm signing off. I'm ending the session.